Now, the Special Investigating Unit will report its findings on this digital vibe saga to President Cyril Ramaphosa at the end of the month. In the meantime, the Health Minister is expected to meet with the ANC's Integrity Commission on the matter, although it's not clear when. He did confirm in that statement that he's written a letter to the party's Integrity Commission. Pressure, though, is mounting for Mkhize to resign or be fired over this scandal. Well, let's get the views of ANC Veteran Mavuso Msimang. Babu Msimang, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us on the Midday View. We come to you at this hour after, in the last hour, we heard for Dr. Mkhize himself reading out a statement in the Northern Cape, apologizing unreservedly for all what is happening and saying he's not running away, he's subjecting himself to the investigation, he's cooperating. He's even discussed taking special leave with the President, and the President is considering that matter, and he's written a letter to the Integrity Commission of the ANC and saying that he's busy collating information and he'll be ready to talk to them in the near future. So what should we make of all of this latest statement, in your view?
Well, good day to you and to your viewers, and thanks for the invitation. I did not hear the latest development that took place in the last hour, but it is positive news. Positive in a very, very dire and difficult situation. The African National Congress is going through a very difficult time. You know, its association with corruption is almost endemic. One leader after another is being accused of corruption, and always the victim is the ordinary person. We all suffer from this, but the worst victims of this corruption are no doubt the poor people that the ANC asked to elect them to government, and they did. So you've got a Estina where people were supposed to be brought into to be streamed into agriculture. You have the asbestos project, which was supposed to remove this thing from cancer-causing thing from the houses of people, and now at a time when the nation is facing unemployment at high levels, you are seeing people getting involved in scandals that relate to the PPEs, and now to a communication that is really, what you would call it, cock and bull story of a communication strategy. It's really a difficult time. I'm happy that Dr. Mkhize says he's going to do what he's planning to do. But let me say, to be very honest with you, it would have done him considerable, given him considerable respect if, as soon as this thing came out, he just decided that he would step aside, he would move to the side. It's not a question of whether it falls within the technical definition of who should step aside or whether there must be an integrity commission or an SIU. All these things come about because people have been reluctant to do what they ought to do if they loved their organization, just to move aside and not become, you know, the story when they communicate to the public. They're supposed to tell us about the pandemic, how it's being managed, but they become the story, and that's gone on for too long.
Yeah. Why do you think ANC leaders, as you said, have tended to do that? I mean, there's an investigation, there's all of, instead of just saying, let me take leadership on this matter, allow the process to continue. Mr. President, I'll make it easy for you, I'm stepping aside.
Absolutely. It is so important because you make it easy for the president, who's got myriads of problems at this point in time to resolve. You diffuse tensions that are created by allegations that somebody is really onto me, they don't want me to be a president or whatever the allegation is. It's not happening.
Yeah, do you think, although you haven't heard this whole statement, he's apologized, he's saying he takes full accountability for the outrage that has happened. He's seemingly saying the right things. And when my colleague Heidi Jokos presses him on, if the president doesn't grant you special leave, will you resign? He says, no, let's allow the investigation space. Do you think he should still do that, the right thing, as you were saying, and just say, listen, let me really just step aside?
You know, if he did that, he would earn more respect, believe you me. If he didn't do that, people would still wonder why he isn't doing it. The thing is, the more he stays in office, the more people will be talking about him instead of somebody coming in to take charge of his portfolio while he resolves these matters. It really is not a wise thing to cling to the job and just become, the end is not going to be good for him. That's all I can tell you. Without pronouncing on his guilt or otherwise, it's not a patriotic handling of the problem. There is a crisis here which requires that those in positions of responsibility must move aside. And, people used to talk about falling on your sword. Maybe that's when you're guilty. Okay. But allow this organization that you say you love to continue its business without having to bother whether the president is going to fire you or somebody else is going to something.
Thank you very much.
Nothing short of stepping aside is what would be required here.
Thank you very much, Mavuso Msimang. ANC veteran, very clear there. Despite what has been said in the past hour by Dr. Mkhize, he still believes the right thing to do will be for him to step aside. Still ahead.